So
you're just repping things of yesteryear.
Yeah. I just took a bunch of vitamins. You know when you take a bunch of vitamins and like I'm not on an empty stomach, but I forgot to take it right after I ate.
Yeah.
So now I feel like borderline nauseous.
That's awesome. That's always a good feeling.
Yeah. Makes me feel really good.
Oh, fuck.
All right. Well, what are we talking about today?
Toxic people and bad vibes, maybe?
Yeah, that's good. That's a pretty good one.
Toxic vibes of bad people.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Well, it goes back to what you consume consumes you, right? That episode that you did is just kind of our garbage in, garbage out. If you pump your body and your brain full of shit constantly on a daily basis, some of the stuff you can't avoid. Like if it's where you work and it's what you have to do right now to pay the bills, you have to limit the bullshit that you bring into your life on the outside of that place.
Right.
And find something that counterbalances it as much as possible.
To put it in military terms, like you need the priorities of work here, or give yourself some room to maneuver. And then you've got to not be hard on yourself. And then there's another component of that is you have to eat good food. You have to fuel your body with high quality ingredients, because if you feel like shit, you're not going to be motivated.
If you're spending your best hours in a shitty place, with a shitty attitude, and then you go home and you pump your body full of bullshit and you stay up late.
Lesson learned for me is there is no value and identity in doing work. If you're working that to make you happy and content, you're barking up the wrong tree and you ain't ever going to get there. This is Alone and Unafraid. This episode is brought to you by Polestar Coffee.
It sure is. I'm drinking some right now out of a non-Polestar cup.
What's the newest with Polestar? You got decaf now, right?
Yeah, it's not on the website. Hopefully it'll be up this week. We're still finagling the new roaster to get it set up. We're waiting on a couple pieces parts, and then once that's up and running, we're kind of like all over the place right now. But yeah, we got decaf. We got a new Ethiopia coming. That's it, man.
Has the tariffs like affected things for you?
I think most of the countries where we get our coffee from are the countries that are negotiating, right? So nothing's really changed yet. I think all those ones were put on hold, but it had the potential to affect a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Negative.
Yeah.
And the price of coffee has been up pretty high for the last few years. It never really quite recovered from the COVID shipping problems.
Yeah.
Right. So all the shipments are still kind of wonky. And then I think there was a bad harvest last year due to some weather. So everything's just kind of like creeping up and up and up.
Remember when that ship hit the Suez Canal and it like
sideways
broadsided in the Suez, and like everything that's how fragile our supply chain is. Like a ship that blocks one like essential passage from I guess the Pacific Ocean or Indian Ocean, Red Sea to the Mediterranean, prices go up. Like,
that was
this is a house of cards. Like, we're built on a house of cards.
And hopefully you would think that it's kind of a red flag for large companies and whatnot to reassess how much and where they're doing their stuff.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's like all part of the plan, which I kind of feel like it might be part of the plan with the...
I'm hopeful it's part of the plan, but you never know. Like,
I don't put anything past anybody.
No. There's always something that I'm not going to get from it. You know what I mean? Bunch of jerks.
Well, if you do like coffee, you should go to polestarcoffee.com. You can use offer code ALONE. Is that still good? ALONE
is still
good?
Golden. Still running.
Yeah. You're going to get how many percent discount? 10% discount? Get a 10% discount.
And if you order over $50 worth of coffee, you'll get one of Doug White's books.
Yeah. Hiding in Plain Sight. It's a really good book.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a like an emotional read. It's not a hard book to read. It's because some of the things he talks about is hard to like turn the page to the because because it gets worse, not in a bad way, but just to kind of see the things that Doug dealt with.
Well, I think it's a good eye opener too.
Yeah.
I think veterans tend to, at least for the last few years, it seems like maybe it's just the circle that we travel in, tend to want to hoard all the PTSD and the woe is me. But there's people who are dealing with more shit on the daily inside this country.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like an eye opener to that.
Yeah, I definitely think that cops and firefighters have it way worse than soldiers. I mean, like when you're at war, you see the worst and the best of people.
Right.
But I think like as a cop, you probably generally it's like on the negative side. You see the worst of people, and they're because nobody like gets pulled over and is like happy about it, you know?
Like, hey bro, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, happy to see you here.
Yeah.
Not only that, it's all in your backyard too, right? So it's your daily life in your neighborhood. And you know, maybe even know some of the people that you're going up to find or whatever, versus like war is hopefully not in your back fucking yard. For some people it is. For us, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the landscape looks different. So you can kind of compartmentalize like when you fly through time and space to get back to America, where if you're just driving home, there's no reprieve there.
Right. Yeah, it's all chaos. But good book.
Yeah.
And if you can also buy his book.
Yeah,
that you can get books.
We'll put the link. Oh yeah, just go to Amazon or wherever you buy books.
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon for sure.
They still have bookstores. We have a Books A Million here where we live. Do you guys have a Books A Million?
There's Barnes & Noble. There's a Books A Million up in Vieira.
Yeah.
And there's a Barnes & Noble right near our house.
Do people still like buy books from bookstores?
I like to.
Yeah.
I like to read. I'll listen to an audiobook. I can't read digital books because my brain is dumb.
Yeah, it hurts my eyes.
Yep. It's better for me to sit there and flip-flop a page over.
I mean, I would just buy it on Amazon.
Yeah.
I bought a tie on Amazon yesterday.
Dude, that's pretty cool. I bought some, well, not on Amazon, but I bought some pants yesterday. Pretty cool.
Were they synthetic
trekking
trousers?
Yeah, they're for trousing up trekking and trekking and trousings.
Were they shants, like where you can unzip the bottom part and they turn into shorts?
I'm not that much of a dad yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a commitment to white New Balances, and because the end result is you still have to take your fucking shoes off.
Yeah.
So it's an inconvenience. Either wear the shorts or wear the pants. I've never been in a mode where I was like, I'll be dead if I can't turn these pants into shorts.
Yeah. I had a few pairs of shants. I had a Mountain Hardwear pair and a Columbia pair, and they weren't bad. Like I was in the jungle in Bangladesh, and they would do this tea time thing at like 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock. I don't remember what time it was, but like they wanted us to look presentable, so we were like typical, you know, collared shirt.
Yep.
And
shants.
But the crazy thing is we would take tea in the back of an MI-17. Like it's
classy.
Already super duper, but it was like a VIP version that had like carpet and seats in there. And it's already like 95 degrees and like a bajillion % humidity. And then they're like
into a stale helicopter hole.
Yeah. Then they put us in the stale not running or anything, just sitting in there. And like served us hot tea and dates, and I was like,
perfect.
Yeah, and like the water, and the water was like 0% chance I'm drinking this tea. I'm not, because like a lot of the dudes were already sick from like eating food there, and I was like, this tea is so good, man. Like I would just let it touch my lips and like all back in the. And then when the dude wasn't looking, I was near the door. I would like right out the door, and I was like, guys, your tea is amazing. But
best tea.
Yeah,
I've always wanted hot tea in a jungle.
Yeah, like
I don't want Gatorade. I don't want ice water. I want hot tea.
Yeah, hot tea. And they had a little guy with like a towel on his arm, you know, like a server kind of guy. It was weird, but it was very British because you know Bangladesh used to be like a British India and all that stuff. But
it's funny those are called. What you have to excuse my brain today.
Colonies.
No, traditions, right?
Yeah.
You go to these countries, and a lot of countries outside of the US have like all these traditions, which it's kind of easy to scoff at because we lack tradition inside this country, I think. Like, I don't know. That's my opinion. But it's kind of neat to go see and be like, oh, no, like they're down on their thing. Like, this is their thing, and they're down on it, and everybody's kind of buying into it. It's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
I don't know. Like, I think we do have traditions, but people just shit all over them. Like, or it's just so normal we don't realize it. And or things like if you go to a barbecue, you're always going to have hamburgers and hot dogs and like some version of potato salad and bean. Like,
right.
There's some common things there, and people are like, "There's no culture in America," but I kind of disagree. Like, there's a lot. Like, we invented rock music, arguably.
Yeah, we did.
So, I think there is culture. It's just so proliferated in the world. Like, our culture is the world's culture, and then anything, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
our products are everywhere, so it's like so diluted. Nobody wants to do anything, and a lot of things get lost.
Yeah. And I think maybe some of that has to do with the size of the country. Right. And so what might be culture in New England is not culture in Louisiana. You know what I mean? It's not one and the same. And so it's kind of maybe that's what it is. If you bounce all over the place, then
there's just so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Hawaii, they eat for breakfast. They do like a masubi. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's like a rice.
Yep.
Like formed rice, like in a little square with a piece of Spam.
Yeah.
With a wrap of seaweed.
Sounds
and
good.
That's like breakfast.
Kind of like what's that Korean roll?
Oh, like kimbap?
Yeah, kimbap, so good.
Yeah, it's like kimbap, but more breakfasty.
Yeah.
And like you can get it at like McDonald's or like you go in 7-Eleven and they've got it right by the counter. Like, get you a Spam masubi in the morning, and
I'd rather have that than a whack ass fucking microwave biscuit and bad sausage.
Yeah. There's like, I've been on this kick about processed meats and how horrible it is for you. And I didn't realize how like red meat is, like, at least for me, it's super inflammatory. I love steak and I love red meat, but I think it's probably better for you in moderation than consuming. I'm a big hot dog fan, but not anymore. God. Like, have you seen those videos where they put the slices of hot dog under a microscope?
No, but I watched the Hot Dog Factory video, and that was disgusting, but it's not enough to deter me. That's like one of those, it's like doing cocaine, right? People go do coke, and they're like, hey, I know this isn't super, and then in the long run, it's going to be pretty bad, but right now,
it feels good.
Have that. Yeah, I want to have that hot dog.
Watch the hot dog microscope videos, and you'll be like, okay, yep, I'm done. I'm done with hot dogs. but man, that's the thing. Like, we're kind of talking about like toxic people and bad vibes and stuff. Like, no wonder people are already predisposed to be in kind of a shitty mood because you're fueling your body with hot garbage. Like you throw down a glizzy, man, and like some Doritos, you got so much red 40 and bullshit in your system. Like, you're already, 25% of the way there to being a total a-hole, and like, not to mention diabetes and all the other stuff that goes along diabetes.
Or for brain.
Yeah. But yeah, I was, and I think I'll talk about it soon, but I just had a recent experience that totally changed my perspective on a lot of things. And, one of those is, and I think we've seen it, but I used to have this thing called the centrifuge of negativity, how like one person that's like a negative attitude can kind of like affect other people, and it starts to spin and churn. And then like, it just is like a self-maintaining thing of negativity that sucks everything into this black hole of the centrifuge of negativity.
Right.
And, I think we saw that, and you still work there, but I don't work there anymore. But I think there's a proof positive that kind of happened at that organization.
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to get better. I don't know. Cause there's a point, and you've seen it probably on deployments too, or when you're working with small teams in places that things like fear or negativity or other things in that realm are a cancer. And if you let them breed and you don't do anything to change like everybody's perspective, if you're just sitting around on a long deployment, it's wintertime, there's not a lot going on, and then people start to like they're not studying, they're not going to the gym, they're not eating right, they're doing too much dumb shit, they're not focused, it can spin out of control, and before you know it, like it's irreversible. And I think at that place we're at a point that even if you make it through all the cuts, it's going to take a miracle to bring everybody back from the bottom of that of negativity, really. And so it's just, and it's constant. It's 100% of everybody in there is just worried about all this shit that I don't think you can come back from it just because it's self-feeding. It's a self-feeding loop of just
one might call it a self-licking ice cream cone.
Oh my God.
Which I kind of get that reference, but I kind of don't get it.
I want to have AI make a video of a self-licking ice cream cone.
Yeah,
and that's
a good idea.
Understand it.
Yeah, we should make an illustration of that and put it in the show notes. I don't know if I'll have time to do it, but this episode is brought to you by Cadence Wealth Partners. You need to get your financial shit together, and who better to do that than a former military dude? Specifically, I'm talking about Nick O'Kelly. He's legit, long tabber, special forces, 160th pilot. He's not your average dude. Now, I take small piles of money and I give it to him with the goal of making them bigger piles of money. We're not just talking about only managing money. We're talking about building a financial strategy, estate planning, retirement planning. We're talking 5-paragraph op order kind of shit, but for your finances. Visit financeforvets.com. That's finance, the number 4 vets.com to start a conversation today. Do it. And you can feel that, like, and people, or some people are probably listening to this and are like, oh, that's not really a thing. But think about this. Whenever you go into the airport, at least I go into the airport, I can feel like the stress and chaos of all the travelers. Like, is that just me, or can you feel like when you go to the airport, does it stress you out? Not stress you out, but can you feel how tense everybody is? Or am I the only one that does that?
No, I think there's some hubbub there, right? Like and it depends on the environment. I think my ability to sense it might be broken. Like if I go to Comic-Con, I'm stressed out because I feel like the whole room is a ball of stress, but everybody's kind of there having fun. So just large groups of people stress me out in general.
I got a caveat that you got to go to like a big airport like Atlanta or like JFK or like Orlando. Not like Melbourne Airport doesn't do that because it's just nobody's stressed out. But you get stressed out at Comic-Con?
I get stressed out in groups.
Is it just because people, like a large amount of people?
Yeah, there's too many people. There's too much going on. I can't chill. Are
you like hyper focused on threat, or is it more like just a lot of people?
It's probably a combination of both. Like I know it's kind of ridiculous and all this other shit, but it's still like, I can't focus on anything. It's just everything is going on. And so
it's like
it's overwhelming.
Overstimulation. Yeah. And that's what people kind of get in their own heads, like that. You go to like a place like Universal Studios or Disney World or somewhere where there's massive amounts of crowds, and like you see like people don't think about other people around. Like they'll stop right in the middle of the.
Oh my God, it drives me insane.
Yeah, and like I feel like in cars it's a little bit different because people still do dumb people stuff in cars, but it's muted because death is on the periphery. Like, but if you're walking in the middle of the airport and you need to check your, like, I was coming back from my trip and I'm walking in the airport and these two ladies, like literally, people walk with a sense of purpose in the airport because they got to make a connection, blah, blah, blah. These two ladies, cold, dead stop in the middle of the hallway or whatever concourse.
Right.
Like, and I'm like, we're all kind of walking in a clip together, and then they just cold stop. and I almost ran into the back of them. And I was like, I didn't get mad. I was like, man, self-awareness is a thing, dude.
I always have to step to the side. Like if I got to pull out my phone and look at something.
Yeah. I put my back to a wall.
Somewhere. Yep.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Yeah. But I think that energy, like you can feel, like at least for me, I can feel like that energy when, I don't know if that's the way the
I'd say
tenseness or whatever. When I go to the airport, especially, I'm super sensitive to it.
Especially around the holidays.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially like if you fly like American a lot or even Delta, if you have a connection in Atlanta, although I will go on the record and say I've been flying American a lot lately. Delta's a better airline. Like,
yeah, I think
it's just a better airline. Like, for whatever reason, the American A321s don't have TVs in the back of the headrest. And I flew from Orlando to San Diego, raw dog, that whole thing.
In one shot?
Yeah. No, I went to Charlotte and then, which is basically the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah,
Charlotte
same distance
to San Diego, and no TVs, and they have like you can watch the Wi-Fi on your phone.
Cool.
But then you get like tech neck where you're like looking down, and then they have the thing where you can put your phone on the back of the seat, but you're looking at a picture that's like tiny,
4 inches.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I like Delta better.
I can get down with that.
But United's okay. But I think Delta, in terms of American carriers, is probably the premier one.
I just go with whatever I can afford.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get nice stuff. Sometimes I don't get nice stuff.
Well, I used to always try, like we used to fly Frontier.
Yeah.
Because I'm originally from North Carolina, so we could fly to Charlotte for really cheap. But like they like nickel and dime you, so by the time it's all over with, you're spending as much as you would on Delta, and you don't get a TV, like, and the seats don't recline or move. They're like bus seats in there.
Like if you don't have a bunch of shit to carry, I took a $70 Frontier flight from Denver to Savannah. And I was like, yeah, dude, like I'll absolutely accept like some low class shit for $70 if that gets me across the country. If I got like a carry-on or a backpack or something. But now we just booked flights to DC for the Yomp because we're going to go do the embassy thing again this year. And the tickets were, I was like, holy shit, it was like 170, 100, maybe $200 per ticket. I think it was less than that. But then you get in, it's like, oh, well, that doesn't get you a seat.
Yeah, you've got to, if you want to pick your seat.
Like, oh yeah, like, okay. Well, I don't even want to pick my seat. I just was like, all right, assign me a seat. I really don't care. It's from here to DC.
Did you get a middle seat?
I don't remember, but I had to pay extra for any seat. Okay. It was like, all right, cool. Now that you paid for your ticket, let's pick a seat. I was like, well, what the fuck did I just pay for if it doesn't include a seat?
Yeah. What airline was it?
I don't know. That may have been
Spirit.
No,
American goes to
American or
DC.
Delta, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, the airline thing is weird. Like that's why I could never be an airline pilot, just because of every time I walk in the airport, the amount of like I can feel the stress of everybody in there, and I'm like, I can't. There's no way I could chill out before going and flying. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like people are too tense and argumentative and crazy. It's just no, dog.
Well, I feel like when you're talking about the negativity, and I don't know if it's just a spool up, but every time I go into the place of business, you just feel it, right? Like I know that when I go there, I'm getting 9 hours of upset people.
Yeah.
Right. And that's 5 days a week. So it's kind of like, that's not good at all for me, because there's no way to spin a positive outlook on how everybody feels and what's going on. So you just go in there and you're preparing to get, one person comes by your desk and like, man, what the fuck? And then you talk to them for 20 minutes about all the dumb shit. And then 10 minutes later, somebody else comes by and like, dude, this fucking place. And you're like, all right, I get it. Like, it's cool. And I feel you, but I don't want to continue talking about this for the next year. Like I don't have the capacity to fight off that amount of negativity in one day, let alone 40 hours of it a week or more.
And it just kills your vibe. It kills your buzz. Like,
yeah, dude.
it we had Stacy. Remember we had Jared and Stacy Haslam
Yep.
on. Like, I am a firm believer that if corporations or businesses, like larger businesses, had some type of embedded behavioral health thing, that they would probably quadruple their profits because their people would be happy, or at least content, like at least have a way to deal. Because when you work a job, like nobody dreams of labor. I mean, the whole
Right.
concept of like, I'm going to trade 8 to 9 hours a day, you spend more time with people you have either little in common with, or you're just there to make a dollar. You spend more time with them than you probably do your family, because you think about the average family that has kids and stuff. If you're at work 8 hours a day, your kid is probably in school 6 or 7 hours a day. They get home at 3:30. Let's say you get home at 5:36. You know, you've got maybe 3 to 4 hours to spend with them, depending on their age. If they're younger kids, even less. And then like how? And then so let me get this straight. I'm supposed to work for 5 days straight to earn 2 days off, and then the 2 days off that you're off, like you're not really off, because you have to do maintenance on all the things that you bought
Right.
over the course of your life. Like, you can't just, you have to wash clothes, you have to clean up, you have to do, there's, so now you take, just let's say conservatively, we take away 25% of your weekend goes to maintenance chores. Okay, so now you have 75% of that time left.
You still need to sleep.
Yeah, and you still got to sleep. And you think about it, and you're like, at least this is what I think about, is like, okay, so now I've done all the math. This is what I have left over with the people that I love the most. No wonder kids have problems, and society kind of sucks, because we're all like driving, like hurtling towards this thing to, me included, to buy the next thing. And it's just like, like if you kind of zoom out on it, at least to me, like on the surface, it doesn't really make sense.
No,
but I like money, so
yeah, it's just kind of like a unfortunate. I wish somehow we could adopt Europe's view on like the work week, and time off. Like, regardless, like, oh yeah, no, you get 3 weeks of vacation, 4 weeks, whatever it is over there. I don't know, but it seems like everyone's always going on a holiday. Everyone's always just kind of off and about, and of course, that's probably you only seeing the good stuff. But versus here, where it's like, all right, cool, I can take a couple days here, a couple days there, but I need to be around for work because there's a thing going on. I'm like, well, guess what? There's always going to be work. There's always going to be a thing going on.
Yeah, I mean, that's my saddest, not saddest thing, but one of the things that we were talking about. We know folks that got out of the military and treat their civilian jobs like we did in the military, where there was common purpose.
Right.
This is a higher calling, whatever you want to higher calling.
Yeah, maybe
higher purpose. I don't know. I mean, depending on
right
what your views of, like, in retrospect, I don't really know, but but they treat it like that, where they're like falling on their sword and killing themselves to like make some middle manager happy, because they're going to get like a attaboy, but there's not going to be any extra money, or there's no, you know what I mean? Like, you can work 50 hours. If you're a salary employee, you can work 50, 60 hours a week, 80 hours a week. And guess what? Your salary is still exactly the same. And then there's the dude over there that's like making exactly what you make, but is completely disconnected and doing the bare minimum to get by. Right. And we all hate that guy. We're like, that guy is a piece of shit. But really,
we're the assholes.
Yeah, we're the assholes. Like, he's the things he doesn't actually add more work to your plate. And if it does, that's your boss's problem. That's not that dude's problem. You know, like, your boss needs to handle that. But we have this mentality of whoever does the most. Like, I used to see it all the time. Like, dudes would be they would be in the unit first thing in the morning. They'd get there like at 7, before PT or whatever.
Right.
And like be like, look at me, Dad. And then like they would stay late, like working, like I'm working really hard. And that was like for a long time. That was like when I was a BMQ, that was the mark of a we would work on Saturdays. Like we would be there like till 8, 9 o'clock at night. Then I'd be in there, from 09 to 1500 on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And, getting ready for the week. And, the older I got, when I eventually became the SP of the company, I was like, hey, 1600, you guys get out of here. Like, bye. Right. Like it can wait till tomorrow. And I think a lot of people do that still.
Yeah. And I think there is a difference, right? And I think where we tend to find ourselves when we get out are similar to, because it's our comfort zone. Like, let me find something similar. Let me find a government contract. Let me find something that aligns with the defense industry because it's similar, right? And so you try to attack it with the same attitude, with the realization that it's all for profit and it's not really for a cause.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus like in the Army, there are times when it requires a lot of extra work to make sure, I'm not going to say every time, but a lot of the times it's to increase survivability right down the road. Essentially is all kind of like everything you do and is to try to increase survivability and relieve some of the stressors that you're going to come across while you're deployed, right? So everything was to make that deployment smoother, to make sure that you're good when you're doing your fucking thing, right? And, for what we thought we were doing, it felt like somewhat of a noble cause, I guess, maybe not towards the end, but versus here where it's just like, we really need you guys to step it up because we need to look good to make the money. And you're like, well, what are we doing? They're like, well, we're making money. I'm like, oh, okay. And some people will find companies that you can believe in, right? Like if you're making something for somebody that solves a problem and you believe in solving that problem, like that's different than working to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so,
yeah. What's interesting about the whole thing is, leading up to me leaving that job, I was like ultra negative. And when I left that job, I wasn't really in a good place. And so this has been probably the best thing that probably could have happened to me. Like, it's going to sound weird what I'm about to say, but I kind of chose my health over a paycheck. And like, I'm not working right now, which is, there a lot of anxiety could come with that and did come with that. I had an experience that we'll do an episode about it. I've got to kind of work through a few things, but that experience now on the backside, I'm not really worried about like work, like
right.
Event, like you can't swing a dead cat and not find work. I can't talk. I really can't talk. The crux of that is it work that you're willing to do, like,
right.
Like if I needed a job, I'm sure I could go to Home Depot and do something there, or, worst case scenario, I could pick up a weed whacker and go out and,
whack some weeds,
whack weeds and wash windows. Like there is work. It's just a matter of, do you derive value from work? And at the end of the day, lesson learned for me is there is no value and identity in doing work. If you're working to make you happy and content, you're barking up the wrong tree and you ain't ever going to get there. And like, right. I'm not saying I'm there. I just realize it now. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, that's similar to what Jared was saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was like just climbing that ladder because that's what.
Because it's in front of you.
Right. You're like, oh yeah, no, I'm going. And then you get to this point where you're like, what the fuck? You're 40, 50 years into your life and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. And like you miss your kids.
All these things. Yeah. Stuff. I did all these things and I haven't lived a life worth living yet. And then you start to see You're like, whoa, I'm on the backside of this thing. You're like, uh-oh. Like, and now how do you totally start over or shift your perspective in a way that's useful without doing something completely scary? You know what I mean? Like, it takes like a leap of faith, I think, at that point to try to adjust your sight picture.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm very fortunate because I have a military pension. And so like the world isn't going to end if I'm not working. It just makes it tougher. Like we're not eating out a lot. I cook a lot more, which has clear health benefits. Like you're not eating shit all the time. You know, you're eating, you know, I actually been going to the grocery store and like really trying to be diligent about what I buy, and it fucking makes it like the amount of shit that is our food.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been like just trying to stick to like, because the only thing I know, I'm like, okay, processed meat. I've been watching a lot of videos about processed meat. I'm like, I'm done with that shit. And so then like I'm eating a lot of fruit and like, you know, but it's so hard to like, not that it's so hard. It's just we've lost the art of making and preparing our own food.
Right.
Where it's just easier to get like a little, you know, those little taquitos and you just heat them up. They're so good.
Yeah.
But it's so garbage. I mean, it's straight trash.
Well, I think that comes part and parcel with killing yourself at work, right? When you get home and you said you've spent 9 hours around the most negative people that you could possibly be with, that you're just drained and you're like, man, I don't want to fire up the oven. You know, maybe you needed to go to the grocery store and it's 5 o'clock. You're like, okay, so I can start cooking dinner at 7:30, or we can just order some shit and have it dropped off at the house because you're just tapped out. And, you know, and of course now you're eating shitty food. And so your body's in a shit state. And then you wake up late or whatever, so you don't get your workout in. Then you go back into that place of fucking misery. And it's that cycle that we were talking about earlier. And so if you're able to pull yourself away from it and kind of set a new baseline, then, you know, it's like only a win, I guess.
Yeah. I think for me, that's what this kind of break from work it's not a catch-all. Like the first probably 3 weeks was miserable. And I had this experience, which like I said before, we're going to do a podcast about it. And, maybe we'll record it right after this, if depending on the time. But
sure.
But now I've got like a little maneuver room. Like it didn't fix everything, but I have room to maneuver. You know, so I think for folks listening is you have to, if you want to change and you want things to be better, you have to be willing to put yourself not only in a space for things to be better, but like you've got to give yourself physical room to maneuver in terms of time, and you have to give and you've got to figure out how to give yourself some grace and compassion when it doesn't go right. And you know, we've talked about this a million times, but I was going to say something, but I said, I used to be very bad about my self-talk, you know, but I'm working to correct those things. So I think if you can give yourself some room to maneuver, if we were to put it in military terms, like you need the priorities of work here, or give yourself some room to maneuver, whatever that means for you. Maybe it's like, don't sign up for some extracurricular activity. You know, you don't have to be the president of the PTA board or whatever. I don't know. I'm just using that as an example. You don't have to, unless it brings you happiness, then go do that thing. And then you've got to not be hard on yourself. And then there's another component of that is you have to eat good food. You know, you have to fuel your body with high quality ingredients, because you don't want to, like, if you feel like shit, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to be motivated to do the thing that's hard to do. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You pound a Pop-Tart and like you've got about 10 minutes of you feel okay, and then you're going to feel like hammered shit after. At least I do when I eat a Pop-Tart.
It's the garbage, I love the
blueberry
garbage
frosted
out
ones.
Oh my God.
They're so good.
There was a point in time where we were deployed, and you know how you get like all the expired food. So we got this pallet of Pop-Tarts, and it was all unfrosted blueberry Pop-Tarts. And I was like, And I don't even like Pop-Tarts, but of course I'm eating them because they're there. They're in our calorie den. And then it's just kind of like, I got home and I went and bought frosted Pop-Tarts because, like, fuck these guys. Fuck these assholes sending unfrosted Pop-Tarts over here. Like, it's not even good. I'm forced to eat them because I like to eat and I need calories or whatever. But yeah.
Sorry,
tangent.
Those I had like Pop-Tarts and those like, I think they were Nature's Valley granola. It's like just like a brick of granola.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like 2 little bricks of granola in there.
Yeah.
I had those under my seat for like months, and then we'd be out loggering somewhere and I'm like, God, I'm starving. Reach down and I pull out this 50% crumbled Pop-Tart, and just no frosting, just dry eating
raw
that
dogging it
with a rip it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to fuel your body, right? So like, I think for me, before this experience, I didn't understand how they all fit together. I thought like, oh, okay, I can, I didn't think the space thing was completely foreign to me. And the food thing made sense, but like the amount of work to get there seemed like insurmountable. And then there's another component of that, which is sleep. And here's a thing that I noticed. I think I told you about this, but a thing that I've noticed very recently is if I watch my phone, specifically videos, right? Texting doesn't seem to have an effect, maybe to some degree. But the two things I noticed is after around, like 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, they have that night mode on iPhone where it turns like an amber color. I don't think it's enough. So there's like a color filters thing you can do on your phone. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. But I just bought a pair of blue blockers.
Oh yeah.
Just to see.
Does the blue light for the screens?
They're not in yet. I ordered them today.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm going to do that. But this one, I turned the phone like basically red, like the tint is red. And but what I really noticed is when I came back from my experience or retreat, I was sleeping awesome. And then I got the first night I was in the hotel on the way back, I was kind of by myself and I hadn't checked email in 4 days. So I started like looking on my phone. Next thing you know, I'm like 3 hours into Instagram reels or videos because the algorithm is a mofo. And so like, and it's like my algorithm shows like cops treating people like crap and like, like very things that get at your
negative, very
like
negative.
Things. Super negative. Right. And, finally, like I kind of pass out, like I'm like my eyes or I can't keep my head up and I'm falling asleep. So I put my phone down, go to sleep. And then I wake up like 3 a.m. And when I wake up, bam, my brain is exactly where it left off when I fell asleep. And then I get a shitty night's sleep. And then I woke up the next day and I'm tired. I'm like, man, I feel like crap. So I was like, man, that's weird. I did have my phone for 4 days and I slept great.
Yep.
And then now that I got my phone back, I sleep like shit again. So I was like, well, I'm going to fly home and all the way back from San Diego. And I'm going to cut my video watching off at like 1500 or 1700, see what that happens. And it's kind of as luck would have it, when I got on the plane, there was no Wi-Fi the whole time. So I couldn't watch anything anyway. Yeah. So I just had to listen to like, there's this guy, Alan Watts. Have we talked about Alan Watts before? If people want a little hippie, it's kind of hippie, but it's really good perspective. He's basically like a philosopher from the 60s and 70s, and he has some just crazy lectures on YouTube. Not crazy, but they make sense when you listen to him. You're like, oh yeah, like that makes total. Like why aren't I doing that?
Right.
So I would highly recommend for people to look up Alan Watts on YouTube. They're free. You can listen to as much as you want. But I downloaded a few Alan Watts lectures, things I was interested in, and So I kind of I listened to those and I slept a lot. And anyway, so I didn't look at my phone. So I get home and I don't look at my phone. I go to bed, slept awesome. Like didn't wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning. Woke up at like no alarm, just woke up like a reasonable time.
Yep.
And then I repeated that for 2 days. And then the 2 days later, we're like, life is happening. We're at the gym, we're working out, everything's great. And then I think I had a phone call about a potential job. So I was on the phone for like 2 hours when it should have been dinner time. So like we had a late start. Like we didn't eat dinner until like 8:30 that night, and then which is late for us because we typically eat at like 6:30.
Yep.
So I had a late start, and then so like everything was pushed back 2 hours. So then I'm catch myself scroll. I look down, it's like 10:30, and I'm like super deep into negative videos again.
Yeah.
And I slept like shit, and I was like, oh, okay. This is it for me. Like, and so like last night I cut the videos off at like 1900 or 7 p.m. for normal people, and pounded 2 valerian roots, which if you haven't discovered valerian root, like I don't think melatonin, like people are like melatonin, but I don't think that works for me anymore.
You have to like cycle it. If you take it too long, because I notice like
you get like
for
used
deployments,
to it
yeah, you kind of get used to it. So it starts at 3 milligrams, and
then
by
then
the end
5,
of the then 5 and 15, and by that, then I notice I'm becoming a groggy, grumpy asshole in the morning because that's just so built up in my system.
Yeah, the valerian root for me, I did like 2,400 milligrams yesterday, and I slept great. And I woke up this morning, no alarm. I think I got up at like 5:45 or 6 a.m., something like that. And
dude, my sleep has been fucked for like the last 7 or 8 months.
What do you think's you got to get up to pee or what? What's going on?
No, just like there's no sleep. It's just like restlessness and all this other shit. And it's I don't know if it's part of whatever hormone imbalance we're trying to correct with my doctor or some other shit, if there's things playing into that. But yeah, it's been really, really frustrating.
Well, so don't watch videos. So if you're like cut that shit out. And hormones have a lot to play in it. Like I think I've talked about it before. I'm on Dr. Mark Gordon's protocol. And what he found with me specifically, I don't know if I've talked about this, but what he found with me specifically is my testosterone levels were down, not because I'm old, because it's the amount of 800 milligram ibuprofen that I've been eating for like 20 something. Way. Yeah, dude. And so what it was because I need a hip replacement, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of joint issues.
Yep.
And, but for the people that don't know, in the U.S., at least in the Army, for that matter, I suspect it's the whole U.S. military, the drug of choice anytime you have an issue is an 800 milligram ibuprofen, aka Motrin, whatever you want to call it. It's a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
So what happens is, and I'm going to jack this up. So Dr. Gordon, if you're listening, feel free to correct me. But over time, those NSAIDs, whatever they, it's called hypergonadism. And basically like it sends something down to your balls that don't produce, it stops the production of testosterone.
Gross.
And then once that gets out of whack, it upsets the whole apple cart with all your other hormones, right?
Yep.
And so you have a really difficult, so a lot of people will, if you go to your doctor and say you think your testosterone might be low, they can run a normal blood panel, but it doesn't account for the other types of testosterone. Again, not a doctor. I really kind of don't care about science. Like, I mean, I do care about science, but like getting the verbiage right and stuff, I'm more of a point kind of person.
Right.
So there's basically like the free testosterone, and there's different testosterone levels. And a lot of doctors only check like the base level one.
Yeah.
And so you have to go deeper and get more specified test. And that will help. So anyways, bottom line is Dr. Gordon was like, hey, he just out of the blue is like, hey, do you do a lot of like ibuprofen? And I was like, yeah, dude, I used to eat that like candy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was on, there was a time when I was on, there was this other drug called, it's not Keflex, but it's a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, but it's prescription only. It's like a diclofenac, maybe that's it.
Sounds intense.
I can't remember if that's the cream version or pill version, but it's, you're not supposed to, it can like really jack up your kidneys. And like when I was in the Army, like they're like, yeah, take these twice a day. And so I was and you're not supposed to. So I took it like twice a day for like 3 weeks, and my kidneys were, I thought I hurt my back because like it was in my back. And I'm like, so my wife was like, man, my back hurts. She's like, oh, that's weird. Point to where it hurts. And I was pointing to my kidneys. She's like, your back or your kidneys? And I'm like,
I don't know the difference.
I don't know. Like, whatever, back there. And she's like, what medicine are you taking? And I showed her. She's like, oh my God, this will jack your kidneys. Like, why would they give you that much? And I was like,
because it's the Army.
Yeah.
They need to keep me moving until I can't move anymore.
Yeah, it was the C students in medical school. So
yeah. I found this thing that it might be similar to the Mark Gordon thing, but it's called the Warrior Health Foundation. They're based out of here in Florida.
Oh, okay.
And what it is, it's totally free to SOF. And I applied yesterday, so we'll see what comes of it. But it's they do the whole blood panel thing, so all your hormones, they check everything, and then they'll put you on a vitamin and potentially a prescription for stuff, but all free of cost.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude. And so that's what I'm doing with my doctor now. And I was like, well, fuck, if these guys will pick me up, then I don't have to pay. I'm paying a couple $100s a month for all this shit, a few $100s a month for all this shit, trying to like stay in this shitty hole that I'm in right now. But yeah, so I applied to Warrior Health Foundation, and we'll see what it does. Because I think what do they say?
Yeah, I'm on their website right now. We'll put it in the show notes so people can read about this. And that's basically what Dr. Gordon's doing, but I have to pay for it. And he's got a major discount for vets.
Yep.
But it's still not cheap. And like I'm on a regimen of vitamins and one prescription, but that's the only, I mean, it's twice a day. I take vitamins 15 to 30 minutes after I eat. And then after I eat dinner, 15 to 30 minutes. There's some of the same ones, a lot of vitamin D3, selenium. Like I'm on selenium, chromate, D3, DHEA, and pregnenolone.
Yep.
So it's so far like my energy level it was trending upward, and then I did my retreat recently, and I think that's what put it over the top. So
the mission for the Warrior Health Foundation, what they say is their mission is to improve quality of life, overall wellness for special operations veterans from the global war on terror through high quality, free or low cost proactive and preventative healthcare services. They provide integrative, holistic, evidence-based care to address cognitive functions, including hormonal and vitamin imbalances resulting from multiple combat deployments, where they say the common hormone imbalance is caused by TBIs, cognitive decline, irritability, sleep disturbance, chronic joint pain, PTSD, family dysfunction, substance abuse, all the shit that comes along with everything. And they say they work to increase your cognitive function, energy, consistent sleep pattern, increased bone density, increased lean muscle mass, reduction of joint pain.
Where are they located? They're here in Florida?
Yeah, they're just down the road from us.
Dude, we should go down there.
Yeah.
They got a 47 on their contact page.
Yeah.
In Palm Beach.
Yep. And I looked because I was like, it's like, hey, are you a special operator? I'm like, I always hesitate to call myself any kind of special operator, right?
Yeah.
But they criteria for eligibility is U.S. Army, SF selection, Ranger RASP. You go to Green Platoon, 160th Source. They call us out by name.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling kind of like you don't belong in the soft community somewhat, these guys allow people from the 160th.
Yeah. I think for, this is kind of a rabbit hole, but for specifically enablers like 160th, I do think it's soft, but there is a unique distinction between operators and support, and there's no doubt about it that that, you know, you and I both were in the 160th, and it's probably my favorite memories in the military and my worst memories in the military. Right. There's a love-hate relationship with the regiment, and as I get older, I forget all the bad times. But the guys that, you know, some of the same guys we know, the guys that put themselves on the level of the ground unit they're supporting, total douchebags. And like, I'll always say, like, I am not physically, we're not the same. It's apples and oranges. And we are there to support them doing the mission, not the other way around. So I would never introduce myself as like, hey, I'm a SOF guy, or like in my LinkedIn bio, it doesn't say like former SOF or anything, because I feel like that's like, cause there's different degrees of that too, right? Like if you're the pack clerk, but you're still in, you know, the 160th or a Ranger regiment. Yeah, dude, you earned your place. No doubt about it. And the 160th does a couple things really well. We put people that support people in with the right mind and the right attitude in those places. Like the S1 dudes and the supply dudes are the best supply guys out there. And they're very competent in their job, but they also realize that the distance they are from the dude doing the mission, sometimes those guys, all guys, pilots included and crew chiefs included, start to take on the persona of the operator they're supporting. And you'll even see it like with the way they dress. Like that was my favorite one. Yeah. Is like, cause you live with these guys for 45, 60, 90 days, however long your trip is. And then you start, or you go TDY and you start taking on attributes of like, oh, that guy's wearing Arc'teryx and Mountain Hardware. Like, oh, cool. I'm going to, you never did that a day in your life before. And then you see
downtown Savannah.
Yeah, exactly. So like, or you live in Savannah, but like you're dressed like you live in the Pacific Northwest. Like, dude, you ain't hiking shit. Like there's nothing here to do. So that was just my rabbit hole of, if anybody's listened to this thinking that Tyler and I think that we're on the same level as the Ranger Regiment or Green Berets or Dev Group or any other, you know, combat controllers, PJs, like, I think that they're different, and I'm not putting myself in that camp, but I put myself in the camp that like I enable them to do their job, and we're damn good at it. So
that's part of why I always hesitate to sign up for something like this, right? Because I don't want to give off that image, right? I don't want to burst into a room. I was explaining it to Katie last night. So I was like, I think I'm going to try for this. It's like, but I had to like, I went to their website to see if they specifically called out like regiment or whatever. And I was like, okay. Cause I didn't want to go into like a group of, you know, Navy SEALs and Green Berets and be like, hey guys, what's up?
Yeah.
I'm here. Well, special operator has arrived. Like, no, that's not the case at all.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes the 160th successful is, generally speaking, we're really professional about how we interact with our customers, how we treat them. You know, like Kevin Gatley had even said, like in all of SOF, his, you know, when he talks about the most professional organization, it's the 160th. And, you know, I talk a lot of shit about the Air Force, and I've been remiss. A couple things I probably should have brought up about the Air Force. When I talk shit about the Air Force, I want everybody to understand, like, I'm leaving out the combat controller community, generally the PJ community, although sometimes, like, you guys chill the fuck out. Okay. But and I'm leaving out the A10 community out of that. And I leave about 80%, 60 to 80% of the AC 130 community. Those guys are pretty cool. Some of them are total douchebags. And so, but I'm really pointing into that at like the general purpose Air Force.
Gen Pop.
Yeah. Gen Pop. So, and it looks, and the Army's not that much better, bro. Like, no. you go down on like a Fort Campbell or Fort Bragg and just go to any like non-combat arms unit, and you'll be like, really? Like, what? and you know, we kind of bust balls about Marines, but there's one thing about Marines, like I can't tell like on the surface without talking to people who is an infantry Marine and who is like some support dude. Like if you line 20 Marines up of all different MOSs, like I couldn't like guesstimate who's, but you take 20 Army dudes and line them up. I'm like, okay, that guy's probably infantry, artillery.
Yeah.
Okay, these dudes are probably aviation. Those dudes supply.
Yeah.
Somewhere, some support jobs. You know, you can tell really easily what they do by their physical appearance and the way they carry themselves and the way they wear the uniform. So
yeah.
All right. So rabbit hole complete. Well, let's wrap this up.
Yep.
And then maybe if you have time, we can get into the other thing. But yeah. So to summarize all this, I think that like if you're looking to make a change, you have to align. You have to make some maneuver space for you, whatever that means for you. You're gonna have to get your diet on track. You're gonna have to get your sleep together, and the obvious one is drink water. Dumbass, go drink some water. Like, and dude, you remember me? Like, I fueled on Coke Zero and coffee. Like, that's all I drank. And dude, I haven't had caffeine in like a month. Like, and I genuinely feel really good. There are. I had a cup of decaf for breakfast yesterday.
I gotta get you some of that new decaf that we have.
Yeah, I gotta come get some of that.
It's actually really good.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like really good.
What's the bean? What kind of bean?
It's a Peruvian bean.
Okay,
and right. From the island of Peru.
Yeah. Oh man. Well,
over there in the South Pacific.
Yeah. I've been to Peru, Africa before. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so like you got to do those things, and then and then the other component is stop watching and talking and being around people that aren't good for you. You know, like when you're watching this video, like somewhere in the back of your head, like this, and there's a component to that of music too. You know, like
it goes back to what you consumes you, right? That episode that you did is just kind of it's the garbage out or garbage in, garbage out. If you pump your body and your brain full of shit constantly on a daily basis, some of the stuff you can't avoid, like if it's where you work, and it's what you have to do right now to pay the bills, you have to limit the bullshit that you bring into your life on the outside of that place,
right?
And find something that counterbalances it as much as possible. Because if you don't, then if you're spending your best hours in a shitty place, and a shitty attitude, and then you go home and you pump your body full of bullshit and you stay up late and you're drinking or you're watching dumb fucking videos and you're taking in the fucking endless news cycle of nothing, of zero information, like you'll never find a place to where you can break free from that cycle.
Yeah. The news cycle is definitely like, I would challenge anybody to like stop watching the news for 30 days and then go back and watch the news, and you'll be like, what kind of bullshit are you guys lying? Like, it's explicitly clear. And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. If you're left-wing dude, right-wing dude, center, like you go, like when I pull up my Yahoo page, I still have a Yahoo email. you know how you can tell like people, like their ages based on their email, like if some dude has an AOL or a Yahoo or like a Hotmail,
that really tells me that they just don't give a fuck about what's going on right now.
Yeah, they're in their mid to late 40s, early 50s,
And they're just like, I have no interest in having a Gmail or my own email account. Like I've had Hotmail forever.
Yeah.
And don't care.
Yeah. And then, I think the reigning champ right now for modern emails is Gmail. If you have a Gmail account.
It used to be by invite only.
Gmail was?
Yeah. When I got my first, because you had to get invited by somebody who already had a Gmail. And that's when I got my first Gmail, was like, hey man, there's this new email. Like it's pretty dope. They don't have all the extra bullshit that Hotmail has or whatever else we were using.
Yeah, because you have like advertisements on all the other ones, but Gmail, I don't think you get advertisements on Gmail, do you?
Still don't. No. Yeah. It's just an email.
Yeah. I don't even know where we're going with that. I derailed us.
Just keeping it real.
Yeah.
That's it.
I feel like if you have a AOL email address, you wear jean shorts and those white New Balance that the old dudes wear.
And you have a flip phone.
Yeah. Jitterbug.
Jitterbug.
Although, flip phone sounds really good to me right now. Like, I wish I could have a dumb phone.
There's like a fucking tough line right now, right? Because for business, you have to have access to all the dumb shit, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I just get like a business phone where I do the Instagrams and I do all the emailing and all the bullshit while I'm on the go with that thing. But when I come home, it goes into a fucking Faraday bag and hides in my gun safe. And then the flip phone comes out for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a good idea. This just popped in my head. Have you seen the Sig Sauer Rattler 300 blackout gun?
Yeah.
That is badass, man.
They're cool, but you're paying an extra $1,000 just because it says Sig Sauer on the side.
Yeah. Do they make a smaller version of that, like on another, like Palmetto State Armory or somebody?
Yeah, dude. There's all sorts of little shits out there. Fucking.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I was looking at that gun and I was like, man, it's a badass gun.
Yeah, they're pretty neat. They're cute. They're tiny. They're expensive as fuck.
Yeah, $2,600.
Yeah, suck for that my ass.
Yeah. So, but all right, man. Well, let's wrap this one up.
All right, bruh.
And we got to remind everybody, please check out our webpage, aloneandunafraid.org. Also, please, if you're listening on Apple, we kindly ask you to leave a review. It can be like a written review, like these guys are awesome. I don't know, whatever you want to write.
Only if it's positive.
Yeah, positive stuff, because we got no negative vibes here, man.
Yeah.
But if you write us a review on Apple, it can be a couple sentences. Just throw it in ChatGPT, make us sound awesome. Post it on Apple. It moves us up in the ranks and shares the pod with more people. And we're generally trying to help folks. So if you take 5 minutes, throw something in there, give us a rating, we would love it. And if you're on Spotify, you can just go and click the about portion, and then there's a star thing. You just click the star, whatever you want. 5 stars are good. We're holding firm at 5. I feel like every time you go to like a store or a restaurant, they're like, hey, if you just do this survey at the end, just rate me a 5-star, and then you never do it.
Yeah.
Or at least I never do it.
It depends. They have to be exceptional for me to spend more time to do that. Yeah. And I feel like we're exceptional.
Yeah, I do think we're exceptional. Yeah. So go there, rate our podcast. That would be super duper helpful. And we're wherever you find your podcast, we're there. Most of our listeners, though, come from Apple or Spotify first, then Apple Podcast, and then oddly enough, Audible is like number 3, which I wouldn't think people would listen to podcasts on Audible, but they do.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, fun fact. But go check us out. Check out polestarcoffee.com. Use offer code ALONE. Get you some coffee. I mean, you're going to drink it anyway. You might as well drink it from dudes that care about what they're doing. Every you call it batch? Every batch?
Yeah, sure.
Or is small batch roasted? Small batch? Small?
Tiny batch. We'll call it micro batch.
Micro batched?
We're micro batching.
It's all there's like literally like Tyler and his business partner are the dudes doing it. There's no like middleman. It's high quality stuff. They got a pretty cool operation, and I gotta say the sound system is the shit in the roastery.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
It is pretty.
That was a must.
Yeah. So head over to polestarcoffee.com today. I'll put all the stuff in the show notes about the Warrior Health Foundation and whatever else we talked about. This is a shorter one, so let us know in the comments if you like the shorter episodes or the longer episodes, and send us an email at info@aloneandunafraid.org on the topics you would like to hear or you're interested in. And we still got to do the conspiracy theory one.
Yeah.
We got to get that one done.
We've been talking about that for a while, but we need to do it.
Yeah.
And if you know anybody doing anything cool in any kind of space that is in this space that we're in, drop us a line. Maybe we want to talk to them.
Yeah, you got a cool story or know somebody that's got a cool story, like, yeah, I want to hear it. Like, it doesn't have to. It doesn't. If you don't, even if you don't think it fits the genre, maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Who cares? We can do what we want.
Yeah.
So.
Hell yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.